Remember Sharon Stone? At 63, this is her now. Sometimes all it takes to create a memorable movie is a frock. Nevertheless, the quantity of labor required to create costumes of this caliber is unfathomable. These 15 costumes are among the finest, and they also had an impact on fashion in the real world. Prepare to make space in your wardrobe. Marilyn Monroe in The 7-Year Itch. Perhaps you've never heard of the film The 7-Year Itch, but you're familiar with one of its scenes. Marilyn Monroe wearing a white dress and beaming while a surge of breeze lifts her skirt. Yeah, it originated here. That one gown, as well as the woman who wore it, will forever be remembered in the annals of popular culture. Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. The entire story of The Wizard of Oz is ingrained in the cultural psyche. There's the Wicked Witch, the Yellow Brick Road, the ruby slippers, and the blue gingham Dorothy dress worn by Judy Garland. There's still copies of the dress manufactured for the film, and they sell for a staggering sum of money. Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's. How ubiquitous would Breakfast at Tiffany's be without Hepburn's little black dress? Thankfully, we'll never find out. Hubert de Givenchy probably had no idea that Holly Golightly, posing elegant in a Coco Chanel-inspired gown, would turn into one of the most recognizable images in American cinema. Nevertheless, it did. Julie Andrews in Mary Poppins. Walt Disney enlisted the help of Julie Andrews' spouse, Tony Walton, to create the costumes for Mary Poppins. Perhaps this explains why they fit Andrews so well. The garment featured in the Jolly Holiday sequence is the most recognizable from the film. Even decades after the release of the film, it remains a popular Halloween and costume party option. Carrie Fisher in Star Wars. Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia outfit in Star Wars was white, practical, and conventional, yet it complemented her so well. According to Fisher, however, director George Lucas was adamant that she not wear undergarments underneath the costume because such items didn't exist in space. Correct. All right. Rita Hayworth in Gilda. Rita Hayworth wore a stunning, highly provocative black dress in the 1946 movie Gilda, designed by Jean-Louis of Columbia Studios. According to an ancient tale, Hayworth was once asked what kept her garment in place during the "Put the Blame on Mammy" scene, and she merely responded, 2 things. Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard. In the 1992 film The Bodyguard, superstar Whitney Houston wore some of the most incredible clothing ever captured on film. Nevertheless, she also demonstrated that sometimes less is more. This magnificent, dazzling headdress was paired with a simple yet seductive black dress, and we'll always adore it. Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. Although Marilyn Vance insisted that Vivian's red dress be red, the original plan was for it to be black. It made sense that Julia Roberts had red hair as she did. After numerous rounds of color testing, the hue of the gown was ultimately chosen, resulting in a spectacular movie scene. Elizabeth Taylor in Cleopatra. Cleopatra has been renowned for extraordinary costumes for many years. This exceptional gold ensemble, which is among the best, clearly conveys Cleo's character. According to another magazine, Elizabeth Taylor's wardrobe budget for this film was $194,800, but no one would falter for the outcome. Keira Knightley in Atonement. If there's one thing the movie Atonement taught us, it's that Keira Knightley looks fantastic in green, particularly that one clingy green dress. Costume designer Jacqueline Duran, nominated for an Oscar, has expressed astonishment at the gown's popularity. However, what else could have occurred when your model is Knightley? Dorothy Dandridge in Carmen. Dorothy Dandridge remains a fashion icon decades after her passing. The red and black dress she wore in the film Carmen is likely the most recognizable costume associated with her, and rightfully so. Dandridge's performance in the film earned her the very first Oscar nomination for a black actress. Kate Winslet in Titanic. When Rose DeWitt-Bukater arrived at dinner in this stunning, glittering gown, every female in the world wished they were her, even though she had to wear a corset underneath it and was on a sinking ocean liner. Deborah Lynn Scott, the costume designer for Titanic, was awarded an Academy Award. Sissy Spacek and Carrie. Some might say the true tragedy of Carrie is that the exquisite pink dress she wears ends up drenched in blood. Well, perhaps that's going a tad too far. However, Sissy Spacek's outfit in the 1976 horror movie is still one of the most recognizable in cinematic history. If you lack complete confidence in your classmates, you should avoid wearing a replica to your own prom. Constance Wu in Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians made every woman in the audience green with envy when Constance Wu donned this enchanted dress. In fact, the item is so iconic that it's currently in the possession of the Smithsonian National Museum of American History. However, Marchesa included a sleeved version in their fall collection, so you can purchase it if you're filthy wealthy. Jennifer Lopez in Made in Manhattan. Jennifer Lopez wears this peach gown in the romantic comedy Made in Manhattan for Ralph Fiennes. He's extremely astonished. When she notifies him that their relationship cannot advance, he responds, "Then you should have worn a different dress." The smoothest. Who, however, wouldn't fall for J-Lo in such attire?